Alright, so first thing is I do the mic testing first. I hope you can hear what I'm saying. Okay, so yeah, I think just now I guess because of my USB device actually spoiled already. So yeah, I couldn't use my mic and I couldn't use my webcam at all. So yeah, eventually I found a spare one. Yeah, I'm going to buy a new one. But anyways, yeah, today we're going to discuss about this SBP paper, and yeah, this is paper 2. As usual, I will actually skip certain questions like linear law or linear programming, which it's very hard for me to draw a graph on my computer. But anyways, if you have extra time, I will explain on it. But then I guess these two topics should be not too hard. Alright, so yeah, I guess maybe I put myself there will be good. Okay. Okay, let's start about this one because yeah, now it's 8:30 already. So I hope we can finish at 10:30. Right, so let's start about this paper. Alright, so over here, yeah, this is paper 2 for SBP 2018. Alright, let's have a look on the first question here. Yeah, it's okay, so the diagram 1 actually show the function of f will map to the set P and map to the set Q, and the function G map to the set Q to the set R. Alright, so basically you have this question over here, and then the first one they ask you to find a f inverse 3 will equals to 2. The easiest way of doing this kind of question is like you can do something like, because now if f inverse 3 will equals to 2, isn't it? If I can actually move my f inverse to the other side, become f2. So therefore I know 3 I can easily say is equals to f2. So therefore f2 equal to 3 means what? That means this is a process of fx, right? So if I want to write out the equation for fx, I know my fx is equals to mx minus 1. Because this one, you can see the x is belong to this one, and then this one is belong to here. So therefore in order to do the fx over here, so yeah, so I can just substitute my value into there, right? So that means fx will equals to 3 if I sub the 2 into my x. So therefore over here I have 2m will equals to 4, then my m will equals to 2. Just like this. It's actually quite easy if you understand it. Let me change to other color. Alright, so yeah, so the first one, m actually equals to 2. Right, then the next thing, the question asks you to find about the gx. Okay, if the question asks you to find about the gx, right? So what I will do is I know this is a process of gx, right? From g to x. So this is the process of gx. So for this process over here, but then this is not in terms of x, right? So maybe I call the whole thing mx minus 1, which I already have the m which is 2, right? So I will call the whole thing as a k. Then at least I can easily tell you something like gk will equals to 4x plus 3, right? Okay, and of course you know what is k, right? So k should equals to 2x minus 1. So m is 2, right? I just plug it in. So therefore, in order to find gx, right, I want to make the other side in terms of k as well. So then I can say gk equals to something k, then gx will equal to something x. So my logic over here is, so I will make x as a subject on this equation. So you can see the x is basically, I move the negative 1 become plus 1, right? K plus 1 over 2. I let this one as my first equation, this one as my second equation, and then I sub my first equation into my second equation here. So therefore gk will equals to 4. X become k plus 1 over 2, right? Plus 3. So therefore after I simplify 2 here, 2 multiply k, I get 2k. 2 plus 1 plus 2 plus 2 plus 3 plus 5. So if gk is equals to 2k plus 5, then gx will equals to 2x plus 5. Right, this is how to find the gx. Yeah, the process actually, it might be quite complicated. Yeah, some student might ask, how about I do something like g 2x minus 1 equals to 4x plus 3. Yeah, you can do like this if you want. But then over here, you need to identify this x and this x, they are two different x. Yeah, because later you want to make here, you want to make something like x as a subject, right? Then you plug in the x here. You want to know they are different x. So normally I will not do like this, but if you want to do like this, maybe if you can understand, then it will be good. How come on there the left hand side is 3, then the right hand side is 2? You mean this one? Okay, so you have to understand what is the meaning for f2 equals to 3. So this 2 will be the x value, x equals to 2. This 3 is actually is fx value. That means when your x equals to 2, you should get 3. So this is the reason why I sub in this equation. So your fx value should be 3. And then your x will be 2. So this is something like when x equals to 2, then your fx you will get 3 here. Okay, so I hope you can understand. So, and how do I get this equation is based on the inverse one. Actually, I move the f inverse to the other side, it will become the f. F inverse move to the other side, it will become f, and f move to the other side, it will become f inverse. Yeah, I hope you can understand. Alright, so for the question number 2 here, okay, question number 2 over here, you see indices, but then indices, whenever you see the plus and minus, which is a minus here, plus and minus is not in the power, you always think about the substitution methods. So when I say substitution methods, that means I will let 3m equals to something here. So yeah, I guess maybe some student cannot see. Let me just zoom in a little bit. I guess this is the maximum I can zoom. Alright, so therefore I will just simplify this equation first. 3 power of 4 minus, right, I will say divide 3 power of m, minus, this one is 3 power of 3, minus, right, mean over 3 power of m equals to 6. Alright, so in this equation, maybe I will let 3 power of m equals to any letter. I like 3 power of m equals to k, example. So if I let 3 power of m equals to k here, so that means all my 3 power of m here later will become the k. So therefore, you should have 3 power of 4 is 81 over k minus 27 over k equals to 6. So in order to solve this equation, right, so what I will do over here is I will basically multiply k for the whole equation. So you imagine k multiply first one, second one, and third one. K multiply first one, you get 81 minus 27 equals to 6k. So then I will just solve these equations. So 81 minus 27, you should get 54. So therefore, let me write here. Therefore, your 54 equals to 6k. Your k should equals to 7. You just divide by 6. Sorry, it's 9. What's wrong with my calculation? Yeah, you will get 9 here. So this is how I solve this kind of question. So you need to understand what is the indices. If you understand, then it should be easier here. Okay, so yeah, so if you understand, then I will just move on. If you have any question, you can post in the live chat. What if 3 plus m? Okay, so let's say if today I have 3 power of 3 plus m, plus means what? Plus means actually multiply in the power, right? So this is 3 power of 3 multiply 3 power of m. 3 power of 3 is 27. 3 power of m is k. So then I will call it 27k. Oh, sorry. The question actually want to find m. So we haven't finished. We cannot find k. So therefore 3 power of m will equals to 9. I sub back the 3 power of m equals to k into here. So therefore 3 power of m will equals to 3 power of 2. M equals to 2. Because 9 actually is 3 power of 2, right? So m should equals to 2. Yeah, we have to find m. We are not finding k. So I shouldn't stop at k. Okay, so let me move on to the next one. Alright, so let me zoom out a little bit because I need some space to write. Alright, so it's given that 2 log 2 and then x minus y, you will get this equation. And then the question basically asks you to show that x squared plus y squared, you will get 18xy. So this is what we want to do. Alright, so yeah, I see some questions over there about indices. Yeah, about indices. Maybe if you still do not understand, you can go to check out my indices video or other YouTuber indices video. Alright, so let me continue the log here. So in order to do that, so what I will do over here is, yeah, everything in terms of log 2, so it will be great. So the first thing is I will move the 2 to the top to become power. So I will move the 2 here to the top, become something square here. Alright, then I will move the plus log 2y to the other side, become minus log 2y. Alright, this is what I will do here. So therefore, I will get something like log 2 x minus y. The 2 I move up become power, minus log 2x. And then this one, I will move to the other side, become minus log 2y equals to 4. Right, this is the first equation. Then the next thing I will do is I will factorize out the log 2. And then whatever minus I will write at the divide. So this one I will get something like x minus y square. Minus, right, mean divide x. Minus again mean divide y. Okay, but then x and y, the relationship between here, actually they are multiplied, will equals to 4. So then the next thing I will do is I will just expand it. If I expand this one, I will get x squared minus 2xy, and then plus y squared, and then bottom is just xy, and log 2 I move to the other side, I will get 2 power 4. Alright, so then I almost got the answer. This is x squared plus y squared, then minus 2xy I move here. This one's 16. 2 power 4 is 16, you should know. 16 multiplied xy should be 16xy. Then what I will do next is I move the 2xy minus 2xy to the other side, become plus 2xy, right? You should know become plus 2xy. So the whole thing here will become plus 2xy. Then you should get the answer. So 16xy plus 2xy, you should get 18xy. This is what the equation 1, then I'll write shown. Yeah, it's not too difficult, but you just need to know some basic about the log, then you just move around, then you should be good. If the 4 I change it to 4 log 2 times 2, I don't really understand the question in the chat room. Why x multiply y? Okay, yeah, come. We do some revision on the basic of the log here, but I need to, yeah, I don't like paper 2 because it's very hard for me to find a place for explaining. Maybe I can explain here. Alright, so let's say today I have log A plus log B minus log C minus log D minus log E. Okay, see what happened here. If today I have all this, if I factorize out the log, you should know basically I will get a fraction. Whatever plus I will write on the top, whatever minus I will write at the bottom. So therefore A plus B, right? So I will multiply B. Minus log C, right? That means we will divide C. Minus D, right? That means we will divide D. Minus E, right? That means we will divide E. So whatever divide at the bottom here, the relationship between the C and D and E is multiplied. This is automatically one. Alright, so you just need to understand about this thing. Alright, so why is x multiply y? Okay, so this is the same idea. Yeah, some students are like so confused about this thing. Okay, I give you some idea. So let's say 32 divide by 3 divide by 4 and divide by 2. So let's say I have 3 divide here. 32 divide by 3 divide by 4 divide by 3. Divide by 2. So it's 32 divided by 3 divided by 4 divided by 2. But the relationship between them is always multiply. Okay, if you still do not understand the basic about divide, then sorry, I can't help you here. I'm going to move on because I have so many questions here. Okay, so let me move on to the next one. This one they want to get the tangent 2x. This 2-mark question basically is quite easy. Okay, so first thing is 6 sine x cos x. So we know the formula for sine 2x. Sine 2x basically is 2 sine x cos x. So therefore, if I have 6 sine x cos x, 6 I can change to 3 times 2, right? 3 times 2 sine x cos x. And then the whole thing here is actually sine 2x, right? Because we have the formula for it. So therefore, I will start doing from here. This one I will choose the right hand side. So therefore it becomes sine 3 multiplied sine 2x over the cos square x minus sine square x is just cos 2x. Alright, sine 2x divided by cos 2x, I get 3 tangent 2x. Proven. Alright, this question is quite easy. If you know about the formula for double angle, you just do it. Then you can easily do that. Alright, then the next thing I need to do is, the question asks me to sketch a graph for 3 tangent 2x. Alright, basically in the graph, the 3 doesn't play very important in the tangent graph. Okay, so this is what happened in the tangent graph here. Yeah, I will need some space here. Maybe I sketch here to give you some idea. And let me erase this. Alright, so I want to draw something like 3 tangent 2x. And then the question asks me to sketch is between 0 to pi, if not mistaken. Yeah, they are 1 between 0 to pi. Alright, so this is what happened. So for tangent 2x, we know the periods for it. Tangent is always equals to pi. That means x is equals to pi over 2. So that means this is my one cycle. One cycle of tangent is pi over 2. So that means I will do something like this. I will do the dotted line here. So my tangent graph will go up, and then from here, this one we call one cycle. They stop at pi over 2. But I need to draw up to pi, right? Then I will just continue another dotted line here. So therefore, I'll draw another cycle. And I should stop at pi. Alright, so this is what we call two cycle in terms of pi. And then you might ask about how about amplitude 3? For tangent, the amplitude is a bit different. You will get a 3 at a 45, I mean at a 1/4 of the graph here. So that means it's over here. You'll get a 3 here if you need to label it. So therefore, this one will be on the middle of it. Alright, therefore you might ask about -3, it should be somewhere here. This is -3. And you at the same time you should have the -3 on the middle here. Alright, but I guess in SPM you do not need to show the 3 and -3. 2x, okay, basically for tangent, 2x means 4 cycle in 2 pi. But because the question only asks you draw to 1 pi, that's why I said 4 cycle in 2 pi, right? That means 2 cycle in 1 pi. So for tangent, what I will always do over here is, no matter how many x here, will always equals to pi. This is something fixed already, will always equals to pi. Then you just divide it, then you should easily know about your 1 cycle. So I'm still confused what formula we need to use. Do you have any tips? Okay, in order to know what formula to use, at least you need to understand the equation. For example, like whenever you see sine x and cos x over here at the same time, and they are multiplied, you need to like find the formula from your trigo. Do you have any formula like sine x cos x one? I guess there's not much formula you have. Then you will easily find something like sine 2x. Of course, in order to know like what formula you need to use, you need to do a lot of practice, and then you gain the experience from there. Alright, so yeah, so let me just move on to the next part. Right, so hence by using the same axis, sketch a suitable straight line. So here very important is a straight line. They want a suitable straight line. That means it's a straight line. By solving this equation. So this one is quite easy. because we know the whole thing here is equals to 3 tangent 2x. And 3 tangent 2x, the part 1 tell me is y, so the whole thing here will be y here. And then minus 1 I move to the other side, it will become plus 1. So it will be 2x over pi. Negative 2 plus 1, I get negative 1. So basically this is my equation. Then I will want to draw my equation because later I need to find a number of solution. Then I give myself some x, y value. Since the graph is from 0 to pi here, so I will give myself 0. When x equals to 0, you'll get negative 1. Then when x equals to, maybe x equals to pi, yeah, this value I just give myself. So x equals to pi, so you get 2 minus 1, you get positive 1. So I have two value here, which is two coordinate here, 0, negative 1, and pi 1. So I will kind of plot the things over here. 0, 1 is roughly, I guess the point should be somewhere here. Oops, 0, 1 should be somewhere here. Should be a bit smaller, lower a bit. So, and then pi, oh sorry, 0 is negative 1. Oh my god, I will need to find a way to erase this thing. Okay, I just hate it. Okay, let me undo it. Undo again. Yeah, nice. Because I have 0, negative 1. So, yeah. 0, negative 1 should be somewhere here. And pi at 1 should be somewhere here. And then I will just like draw a line for it. Of course, you use a ruler, you should draw a better line than mine. 0, negative 1, and pi should be 1. So your number solution means the straight line should only intersect one point, doesn't it? So the numbers of solution should be 1 only. Right? Okay, if you want to understand about amplitude for tangent graph, okay, I use the original tangent graph to explain about that thing. So let's say y equals to tangent x. Let's say I give you some idea about amplitude here. So for tangent graph here, this is normal tangent graph. This is 90, this is 180. So we know you can only get the amplitudes at 45 degree. Because when 45 degree, you'll get 1, right? You see there's nothing here. That means if you sub the 45 into the x here, you should get the whole y value equals to 1. So therefore, if today I have y equals to 100 tangent x, so the amplitude will only change. That means if I sub the 45 into the tangent here, you type the calculator, tangent 45 basically, you type in the calculator, tangent 45 basically is 1, right? Then you get y equals to 100. So that means if I have y equals to 100 tangent x, which the amplitude is 100, my 100 will happen here. But then the problem is your x-axis is not always equal because the periods actually, the 2x, 3x for tangent will actually change it. So normally how I remember is for your first curve over here, before you go to the axis asymptotes here, yeah, the middle of this range here. That means this one we call 1 cycle, right? That means I always remember like quarter of 1 cycle is always like 45 degrees. Then this is how I get my amplitudes. Right, I hope I do answer your questions. So let me move on to question number 4 here. Okay, you have a diagram. Let me zoom out a little bit. Okay, you have a diagram to actually show a right prism ABCDEF with a square base. So square base play a very important role here. Square base at least tell you the ACDF is the same length because they are the square base. So given the total length of the side of the prism is 133. Alright, and then ED and BC is 25. We know here is 25. Here is 25 because these two is the same length. Alright, so since it's a square base, I'm going to call my base is x. So you know 4 sides should be also x. And in this case, I do not have my height. So I'm going to give my height as a y. So this one will be my y. So this one should be x also because BE is same length with CD. Alright, so then, yeah, I know the parameter. That means all this length I plus together should equals to 133. So I will just plus 1x, 2x, 3x, 4x, 5x. So I should have the 5x here. plus 2y, and then plus 2 slang height, which is 50, will equals to 133. Then over here, I will need to make either x or y as subject. It very depends what you want. Okay, so therefore, they asked me to find the volume of the right prism. So I will need to find the volume of this right prism over here. So I guess basically I kind of need to solve this one. So yeah, I guess this is simultaneous equation. So what I will do is maybe I make y as subject, it doesn't matter. So I will say 5x plus 2y will equals to 83. Maybe I make y as subject, or I just leave it here. Okay, maybe I make y as subject. Y is equals to 83 minus 5x over 2. So I'm going to call this one as the first equation. See, just now I said this is simultaneous, right? If this is simultaneous, we need another equation. So luckily this is a right prism. So this is 90 degrees. So that means I can do the Pythagoras, because I know x squared plus y squared should equals to 25 squared. So I will say x squared plus y squared equals to 25 squared. Then the next thing I will do is I will just plug in the y over here. So I call this one second equation. Sub the first equation into my second equation here. So then I will have 83 minus 5x over 2 square equals to 625. Right, so then I will just expand this one. I will just expand this one, which is the x square. Okay, should I just expand this one? Yeah, it's a bit, the number will be very big, so but I hope I can do it. 83 square is 6889 minus 830x plus 25x squared over 4 equals to 625. So in order to solve this one, I will just multiply 4 for the whole equation. So the whole equation here, I will go to multiply 4 here. So I have 4x squared plus 6889 minus 830x plus 25x squared equals to 625. I will type 4 as well, 2500. Then I will kind of solve the equation. 25x squared plus 4x squared, I have 29x squared minus 830x, and then 6889 minus 2500, you should get some very weird number, which is the 4389. Then the next thing I will do is I will just factorize this equation. Of course, I'm not going to factorize myself. I try to see is all the number can divide by 29 or not. Yeah, they are not deniable, so I will just like do EQN and then see whether I can get the correct one or not. Negative 830, 4389. Yeah, I kind of get a quite nice number over here. So I should know from my calculator, I should know this is 29x minus 627. And then this one should be x minus 7. So from here, I should get x equals to 627 over 29. This one x should equals to 7. Alright, so of course, over here, I will need to find my y value as well. So my y equation is on the top here. I will just trying to plug in. So y will equals to 83 minus 5 times 7 is 35 divided by 2. Alright, so I should get some nice number, I hope. So y equals to 24. So what if the x is the weird number like this? We still need to try to find, because we do not know what is the correct one. 83 minus, is it 5? Yeah, 5 multiply this number divided by 2. Alright, so yep. Alright, because actually we do not need to do this number lah. One of the very important reason is what? This number over here is basically 21.62. Okay, because just now your parameter is like 5x plus 50, right? Imagine if x is 21 something, 5 times 20 already 100. 100 plus 50 already more than 133. So in this case, I just do not want to waste my time. So over here, for this value, I will just write a rejected. I just do not want to find this value because this value, it doesn't make sense. So my x is 7, my y is 24, so which is very nice. And then the question asked me to find the volume of this prism. So in order to find the volume of the right prism, we know that we actually need to find one identical area and then multiply the length, right? So therefore, this one is triangle is half times y times x. So x is 7, y is 24. Okay, so multiply the length, which is 7. So I multiply 7. So this is how I get the volume. Find the identical area and then multiply its length. So which is 12 times 7 times 7. So the volume should be 588. If they are using cm, I'm going to give it cm cube. Alright, this is how we do this kind of simultaneous question. There's a lot of things to do for this kind of questions. The option to solve the quadratic equation is calculator is EQN. Yeah, of course, if you do not want to use the EQN, you always can use the negative b plus minus square root b squared minus 4ac divided by 2a. You can always do that. Teacher, what if the y equals to 3 tangent 2x plus 1? What to do is the plus 1 for a tangent graph. Yeah, you just a whole tangent graph, you're going to shift up by 1 unit. So if you really want to know, I can do a real quick. Y equals to 3 tangent 2x plus 1. Alright, so it's the same idea. That's me. Now my new x-axis will be this plus 1. This one will be my 1 here. Then I will draw my graph starting from 1. So, oops, my pen is quite hard to draw here. So, and then this one I will stop at 1. And then this one will give me pi over 2. And then the 45 degree here, just now is 3, right? Now become 4. Yeah. So this is half of it. This is what happened when the graph plus 1. So the whole graph going to shift up like 1 unit. Yeah, because it's plus 1. It's minus 1, then you're going to move down. The volume formula, okay, this is not the volume formula, but this is the prism formula. In order to find the right prism, right, what you need to do is, because prism is not necessarily must be triangle, it can be trapezium, it can be any weird shape over here. Okay, so how do we identify this is prism? For prism, right, it must have two identical area. That means these two area must be exactly the same. But these two area not necessarily triangle, it can be trapezium or it can be any weird shape. We still call it as a prism. So therefore, how to find the prism is normally is the identical area and then multiply the length. So the length in this case is x. So if this area is triangle, then I find the area of triangle. My identical area will be triangle. Multiply length. In this case, length is 7, so I will multiply my length, which is 7. If the area over there is trapezium, then you find the area of trapezium, multiply the length. This is how we actually find the prism. Yeah, so it's cylindrical prism, then maybe you find the circle area and then multiply the length. So what trigo graph do you think will come out this year? Is it high possibility? Okay, it's very hard to say. Normally they're least favorite about tangent because a lot of students like so not familiar about tangent. But because recently they just like about the K-Bar question so much, and the examiner know you don't like tangent, then they might come out tangent. Okay, so yeah, so let me just move on. Yeah, so for tangent, you kind of can ignore about the amplitude unless the question asks about something about amplitude, or else you can just ignore about amplitude in tangent. Because normally you don't need to identify the maximum or minimum in tangent graph. Because tangent graph, the maximum and minimum is infinity and negative infinity. If the area is circle must times 2, right? If the question asks about the area of prism, then maybe you need to times 2. But if volume, don't need to multiply 2. Why you need to multiply 2 for volume? Okay, so yeah, let me move on to number 5 here. Okay, table 1 will show the marks of 10 participants in a mathematics quiz. So the participants with the highest mark is the winner of the quiz. So, okay, so over here, find the total marks of sha and fika if the mean is 6. So you know you can easily find the mean, right? So the mean is basically like all the mark plus together divide by number of students here. So I will just plus like 3 plus 5 plus 6 plus 8 plus 8. I will plus all the number here by using the calculator lah. So 3 plus 5 plus 8 plus 6 and then plus 8 plus 10 plus 3 plus 5. Alright, so I should have 46. 46 plus x plus y. Alright, so oops. Let me just plus one more time. 3 plus 5 plus 8 plus 6 plus 8 plus 10 plus 3 plus 5. It is 48. I'm not sure why just now I typed wrongly or what. Should be 48 plus x plus y. Over 10 students should equal to 6 because this is how we get a mean 6, right? So I will just get my x plus y first. So it should be 6 multiplied 10 should be 60 minus 48. You get x plus y equals to 12. This one should be my first equation. This asks you to find the total mark. Okay, this one actually is the answer already because this is the total mark for sha, and sha is x, right? And fika is y. So yeah, sha mark plus fika mark will be 12. Is it 47? Why I get 48? Let me try again. 3 plus 5 plus 8 plus 6 plus 8 plus 10 and plus another 8 here. Yeah, it's 48. Yep. Alright, so it's given that the variance is 6.2. Find the winner of the mathematics quiz. Alright, this one is kind of ungrouped data even though he write into the table, but it's kind of ungrouped data. So in order to find the variance, variance will be sum of x squared over n minus the mean square. Okay, mean I do not use m lah. Minus mean square equals to 6.2, right? This is the variance formula. So sum of x squared, this is my x value, so I kind of like square them. So I square them, I get 9, 25, 64, 36 x squared and 6400 y squared, 9, 25. So this is kind of the value of x squared. I mean I square the x value. I square the mark. Because here got x, I say x squared basically will get very confused for you. Alright, so yeah, basically you have two formula for it. One is group data, the other one is ungrouped data. In this case, I use the ungrouped one because you doesn't see frequency in this question. If you don't have frequency, then you use this one. Have the frequency, use another one. Okay, so right now I'm going to plus all the number. 9 plus 25 plus 64 plus 36 plus 64 plus 100 plus 9 plus 25. So I will get some 332 over n is 10 minus the mean I already have, right? Mean is 6 is given. Minus 6 square. Oops, sorry. No. Just now here, we still have x squared and y squared, right? Don't forget. Plus x squared plus y squared minus mean is 6, right? 6 squared equals to 6.2. So I kind of will solve this equation. So I will do 6.2 and then plus 36, which is 6 squared, move to the other side, and then multiply 10. So I should get 332 plus x squared plus y squared equals to 422. How to get 422? I move this one to the other side plus, and then I move this one to the other side, become multiply. Then I get 422. So therefore, x squared plus y squared will equals to 422 minus 332 is 90. Alright, just now we have another equation, right? So I will kind of solve these two equations. I will say x equals to 12 minus y as my first equation. As my first equation, 12 minus y here. So then the next thing I will just substitute the 12 minus y into my x. So this is 12 minus y squared plus y squared equals to 90. I need to find out what's the mark for x and y. Basically, this is what I'm doing here. So this is 144 minus 24y plus y squared equals to 90. So I have 2y squared minus 24y and then plus 54 equals 0. And then I divide 2 because I just want to make this one easy a bit. And then 27 is a nice number which you can use 9 and 3 minus 9, y minus 3 equals to 0. So y will equals to 9 and y equals to 3. So if you sub into the x here, if y equals to 9, your x should get 3. If your y equals to 3, your x should get 9. So therefore, your x and y, it can be either 3 or 9. But it doesn't matter because the question asks you about the winner. So if let's say x is equal to 3, y equals to 9, the winner is still the Sharipah, because Sharipah is actually get 10. Because winner is the highest mark in one, isn't it? So even your x and y sub value, it doesn't change anything. So therefore, the winner is the Sharipah. Okay? So this is how to do this kind of question. If you didn't find x and y, if you didn't find the x and y over here, no, I guess you need to find x and y. Then only you can identify the winner. So can you explain what is the difference between variance and standard deviation? Standard deviation, just square root variance, that's all. So in order to get the standard deviation, you will just square root the variance. Yeah, this is a relationship between them. Alright, so I'm going to move on to the next one. Yeah, if you don't have basic about the standard deviation, the statistic, you please go to check out about the statistic thing. Alright, so okay. First thing is, I guess based on my experience, this question number 6 here has a little bit problem, because I do teach something like this called relative veracity in IGCSE, and this question kind of doesn't make sense, but yeah, I'm not sure about why the question is like this, and I can't say the question is wrong. Maybe the teacher come out this question have his own logics, but then for me is I didn't see the logics over here. So okay, I explain why I think this question have a little bit problem. So the first thing is, the question says the diagram actually illustrated that Anita and BP want to swim from the point Y, go to the point X, cross the river with a 15 meter here. And the PP actually swims constant velocity V, and there is a steady current U is 2I, and it is 13I minus 18J. Because this velocity actually at the same time it tells us about the directions. So if this one is direction, right, 13I minus 8J, the direction is basically like this. 13I, right? 8J, right? Minus 8J, so the 8 is really going this direction. So your vector is kind of look like this. Okay, so this 8J. So this is your vector for 13I minus 8J. So this is your vector. It go in this direction. But because you want to go opposite, you want to from Y to X, I do not know how to add this one as my resultant vector. Of course, I know in order to get the resultant vector for PP is basically this vector plus this vector. But if this vector plus this vector, I mean V plus U, I plus another U, I still get the vector will look like this. I still get the vector will look like this, which doesn't lead to my Y go to X, because Y go to X, this direction obviously is going downstream. So yeah, but if I ignore about the direction, this question will become very easy. Because in order to get the resultant vector, right, just these two vectors plus together. So I will say the resultant vector for PP is just like both vector plus together. The constant velocity plus is the water, 2I. Then I will get 15I minus 8J. So if I get a 15I minus 8J, I want to get the magnitude of it. It's very easy, right? 15 square plus negative 8 square. Then you get 17. And then I want to get the unit vector of this vector, right? So basically unit vector will be 15I minus 8J divided by its length, which is 17. So it equals to 15 over 17I minus 8 over 17J. Yeah. If I ignore about the logic of it, because I keep thinking if the question want to go Y to X, then the direction it doesn't lead me to X. Okay, why is PP is u plus v, because in order to get the, I guess this constant velocity, right? This constant velocity actually is the velocity for pp and relative to the water one. Mean this one should be the velocity of pp relative to the water. Mean this is the speed of the pp in the water. So in order to get the velocity of pp, so you need to use the velocity pp relative to the water plus the velocity of the water. Okay, this is the formula for relative velocity. But actually this formula cannot use in two dimensions. This formula can, I mean, you cannot straight away substitute in like what I substitute here, because this diagram actually is two dimension. Two dimension, normally we cannot use this one like to solve. Normally if you take IGCSE, this formula, I mean this kind of question, you have to draw out the triangle and find all the angle and solve. But then in over here, and I check the marking scheme, they actually straight away plug in the value to solve it. So yeah, kind of maybe in SPM this is how you solve it, but yeah, I just couldn't find a logic for it. Yeah, so therefore, yeah, because in relative velocity, right, you have a formula is actually called velocity A will equals to velocity A relative to B plus the velocity of B. Yeah. So in this case, I will just assume the B is a pp and W stand for water. So in order to get the velocity of the pp, you basically need to find the velocity pp relative to the water plus the velocity of the water. And yeah, and I guess this one is the pp relative to water, because the question actually says something like pp swim with constant velocity. Yeah, this one actually a lot much is actually is based on guessing lah. Seriously, if this question come out in the exam, I also like I have no confidence that I can do this question correct, because normally in relative velocity they will mention more details about the velocity. They will say maybe this is the pp constant velocity relative to the water, or they will say in the still water, something like that. But this question doesn't say anything at all. And then when I do this one, I just do some guessing. Maybe this constant velocity is pp relative to the water. Yeah, this question I would say is really confused. Do you think SPM is this hard? I don't know, but then SPM do have, last time remember you do have something like the plane all flying one direction, suddenly got one plane change direction. It's about this relative velocity type of question. It's relative to the vector. But then yeah, because when I solve the MF question, I pretty much want to find the logic behind it. But for question number 6, I would say this is not a good question. But because this question itself, the logic doesn't support it, and then I find, I mean, I personally, I do not want to offend the teacher actually come out with this question. I personally find that this question is very confusing. It's not about K, but even it's difficult question, you also need to have a very good logic support it. Or whoever are very good in this kind of question, maybe you can share to me how to solve this kind of questions. Because for me, it's quite confusing. Alright, so, okay, let's move on to the part B. Okay, Anita swim with a constant velocity, V, and the steady current, okay, the water is 2 toward right. So find the resultant vector velocity of Anita. So therefore, the same thing, you want to find the velocity resultant vector of Anita, you will get the velocity of Anita relative to the water plus velocity of the water. So therefore, I guess the constant velocity here is the velocity of Anita relative to the water, which is the V here. So in order to get the resultant vector, so I guess it's just the V plus water is U. So this resultant vector for Anita should be V plus U in this case. So how far downstream will Anita from X when he reached the other side of the river? So downstream means what? Means when Anita actually go to the X here, like how far the distance the Anita will be, because at the end, because if you think something like V plus U, right? V plus U, the Anita actually going on this direction. Because v is going this direction, right? U is going the other direction. So if v plus u, this is the direction for v plus u. So v plus u actually is this vector. Okay, so therefore at the end, the Anita will be somewhere here, and then they want to know how far downstream. So I'm going to call it D, stand for the distance here. So the question want to find the distance. So the easiest way is do the similar triangle. So because I know the V and U, right? So I will just do some similar triangle here. So my V here is 2.5, my U is 2, right? So V is 2.5 here, and my U is 2 here. And then we have the distance, right? Distance here is 50. And I want to find the distance D here, right? So I just use a similar triangle. D over 15 will equals to 2 over 2.5. Then I can get my distance downstream by solving the similar triangle. 2 over 2.5 multiply 50. So the distance downstream here should be 12 meter. So the distance over here downstream should be 12 meter. Okay. Can list the easy chapters just to pass the Add Math. Okay, a lot of students actually ask me about the easy topic here, because some topic I find very easy, but the student might not necessarily find very easy. Example, I find the linear law very easy, circular measure very easy, coordinate geometry very easy, motion along the straight line is very easy, and log very easy, indices very easy. But some topic I find very easy doesn't mean you will find very easy. Just depend you are good at that topic or not. But when I say this topic is very easy, because they seldom come out the K-bar. The K-bar they love about integration. They love about GP, AP, they will come out on K-bar. They love about vector, they will come out in K-bar. Sometimes indices, maybe they will come out K-bar question for indices. Yeah, so when I think easy, means like this topic is less likely to come out K-bar. Yeah, circular measure somehow they will come out K-bar, they tell you about garden, they want to plant some tree or things, and then they ask you to find the area of the garden or something like that. But it's not really K-bar, they just change the thing into 3 dimension only. For B2, just do the ratio, got no formula. Yeah, I guess use the ratio is the easiest one lah. If you want to use the formula, of course, you can kind of solve the angle and then use the SOHCAHTOA to find the D. Yeah, you can. Because this here got small triangle, right? Small triangle, you can use a tangent to get the angle. After you got the angle, you know the distance here is 15, right? And then you can use a tangent again to get the D. But solution of triangle is faster lah in this case. And so, yeah, simultaneous equation is easiest lah. But simultaneous equation, they love to come up K-bar on it also. So I cannot say it's a real easy for that topic. It's very dependent. Right, so let's focus on the next question here. Question number 7. It's given that OA is tangent to the semicircle. Okay, so therefore tangent, I know here is 90 degrees. So I know this is a right angle triangle. And then the OAB is radius is 8. So, and then the semicircle radius is 3. So therefore I know here is 3, here is 3, here is 3, because this semicircle radius is 3. Since the radius here is 8, so I know this is 2. And then because this is 5, right? This is 3, right? Pythagoras tell me 3, 4, 5. So here is 4, here's another 4. Because this is radius 8. Alright, so normally when I have the information, I will quickly solve out the thing first, then only I start to do. And then very important, pay attention, they say pi is equal to 3.142. So you have to use this one to solve this question. So the first thing is they ask me to find the angle in radian. They want to find AOB. Basically, they're asking me to find about this angle. Then I will use anything sine, cos, tangent is good. So I say tangent lah. Tangent angle AOB. Tangent is OA, right? 3 over 4. So angle AOB. I just change my calculator into the radian in order to get my radian answer. So 3 shift tangent 3 over 4. So I should get 0.6435 radian. Alright. Then the second part, they ask about the parameter of the shaded region. So in order to get a parameter of shaded region, I need to know what is the arc length here and arc length here. So of course I just got this angle, right? So the arc length of AB is very easy. S equals to r theta, right? R is 8, theta is 0.6435. Okay, right now I already got the arc length for AB. So right now I want to get the arc length of BC. So arc length of BC, I kind of need to know the angle here. So since this is 90 degree and I got this angle, I just need to find this angle. So basically, if you smart enough, you should know this angle is basically theta plus 90 degree, right? Because it's 180, right? So therefore, if not, you just find this angle, you just find alpha, then you use the pi to minus alpha, you can do that. But normally I just plus these two, I just plus the theta and the 90 degree here. But of course we do not use 90 degree because we want the radian. So this is 0.6435 plus pi over 2. Pi is 1.142 over 2. So this is the angle for this part. So I will just plus them together. 0.6435 plus 3.142 over 2. So I kind of get the angle here. This angle I will get, which is I will get this angle, which is the 2.2145. Alright, then I can get this arc length of BC here by using r theta, 3 theta. Alright, then I can get a parameter of a shaded region plus all the angle, and this is 4, right? I just plus all the value here. So this value multiply 3, I mean the BC should be 6.6435 plus 8 multiply 0.6435, and then I get the second value 5.148, and then the other last one is 4, right? Plus 4 plus 6.6435. So your parameter should be 15.7915 in centimeter, I guess, in cm, right? Yeah. So this is how I get a parameter. Basically, I just solve one by one. Wait, so what with the 3.142 divided by 2? Okay, because this angle is basically, okay, get some highlighter. Okay, in order to get this angle, right, it's 90 degree plus this angle, isn't it? So 90 degree, what do we call 90 degree in radian? 90 degree is pi over 2, isn't it? Because pi equals to 180 degree, right? So pi over 2 is basically, pi is 3.142, right? So 3.142 divided by 2. So this one represented by the pi here. And 0.6435 is just the theta lah. Right, so this is how I get the angle. So how you get 4 at OC and CA? Okay, because we know the length, this length over here is 5, right? And this length is 3, right? We know the Pythagoras 3, 4, and 5. So I use, or else you can use the 5 square minus 3 square, you will get 4. And then how I get the other 4 here? Because I know the whole length is 8, right? Minus the 4, then I will get the other 4 lah. Yeah, I just don't like this color. It's very messy. Right, so far so good. Can we use a degree in working and change the answer only to radian? Yeah, you can use the degree and change to the radian, but I find take a lot of time. So normally I just use everything in radian. Some more, the formula S equals to r theta. This formula tell you your theta must be in radian, only you can apply. If your theta in degree, you apply into the formula, you got the wrong answer. No, don't use highlighter in SPM, please. Right, and then they asked me to find the area of shaded region. So in order to get the area of shaded region, my logic here is I want to get the whole big sector minus a small triangle minus a small sector. Alright, so therefore, in order to get the area of shaded region, I will just find a big sector, half r square theta is 0.6435, and then minus a triangle. This triangle is half times 4 times 3, and then minus this small sector here. This small sector here will be half 3 square, theta will be 2.2145. Alright, so I basically use a big sector minus a triangle, minus a small sector, then I get my shaded region. So you just type everything into the calculator lah. So 64 over 2 times 0.6435 minus 6 minus 9 over 2 times 2.2145. Yeah, you should get the shaded region is 4.6268 cm square. Alright, this is how I get the area of the shaded region. Can we do the hard question first? Can I use the pencil? Yeah, pencil can only use for sketch a graph, if not mistaken. Alright, this is how we do this question. So let's move on to the number 8. I'm going to skip because number 8 is basically linear law. Normally, I will leave 3 to 4 decimal. Yeah, if you're curious about decimal place. Alright, so yeah, coordinate geometry, which is one of the easiest topic for me. Alright, so yeah, let me just drink some water. Oops. Yeah, I guess this is a section B. But this paper doesn't mention about section B. Right, so okay, so in order to solve this question, yeah, the sum coordinate is given, ABC coordinate is given, origin you know is 0, 0. A point P moves such that its distance from C is always 1 unit. That means I know PC should equals to 1, right? P I do not know what is a P. P I'm going to give it XY. But C I know, right? C is basically 2, 7. So therefore, PC equal to 1. In order to get locus, you know locus is basically is a distance, right? So distance, I will just use a distance formula. So square root of x minus 2 square plus y minus 7 square equals to 1. So then I move the square root to the other side, become 1 square, which is 1 also. Then here I will just expand x squared minus 4x plus 4 plus y squared minus 14y plus 49. Alright, so then this is x squared plus y squared minus 4x minus 14y plus 53. 53 minus 1 plus 52 equals to 0. So this is your equation of locus. Right, it's quite easy. Whenever you see locus, you just use the distance formula. Then you can easily got the answer. Okay, so then I will move on to done number A. Determine the point D such that ABCD is a rhombus. So if ABCD is a rhombus, I guess the D should be somewhere here. Then like ABCD is a rhombus. Okay, so I give you some idea, but if I do this one, actually D I just get it straight away, because rhombus means what? All of this should have the same distance, right? That means I will find like how B go to C. If I check the B to the C, right, I realize they just like move negative 2 to 2 is move 4 unit, 6 to 7 is 1. That means they moving 4 unit like this, they're moving 1 unit go up. So if I want to get the coordinate D, right, I just use the A, I'm going to move the 4, 1 as well. So I just do a 4 and 1, 4 unit here, 1 unit here, then I can get my D straight away. So A is negative 3, move 4 unit, I get 1. 2, move up 1, I get 3. So I can straight away get my D is like 1, 3, but of course I guess the examiner do not want you to use the easier way. So over here I'm going to teach you some normal way to do this question. If this is a rhombus, right? Rhombus, that means the midpoint of AC will same with the midpoint of BD. That means BD and AC, they both are going to share the same midpoint. So if they have the same midpoint, then I will just use the midpoint formula to do this. So I will erase this one because I need some space for my midpoint. Alright, so I will find the midpoint of AC first. So midpoint of AC, that means A plus C, right? So negative 3 plus 2 over 2, comma 2 plus 7 over 2. So therefore the midpoint should be negative 1 over 2 and 9 over 2. So since we know AC and BD will have the same coordinate, right? Just assume I do not know D, I'm going to call it XY. And I will say B I know, right? So negative 2 plus X over 2, comma, then Y plus B is 6, right? Over 2 should equals to the same midpoint, right? So negative 1 over 2, 9 over 2. So therefore, you know the X will same with the X, right? So negative 2 plus X over 2 equals to negative 1 over 2. So therefore, your X should equals to, simplify 2, X should equals to 1. Alright, then we'll do the same thing for Y. So Y plus 6 over 2 equals to 9 over 2. Then Y equals to 9 minus 6. So Y equals to 3. So therefore, my coordinate of D is 1, 3. So at the very beginning, I already got 1, 3 lah. But then I guess the teacher give you 3 marks is basically want you to do the 1, 3 thing. So can we find the, in this kind of question, right, especially you want to find the coordinate, trying to avoid using the distance formula. Yeah, because the distance formula going to give you a lot of trouble. Because you have a lot of x squared and y squared, that means you might have 2x value and 2y value. So if possible, in order to find the equation, find the coordinate, right, distance will be my last choice. I always, first choice will be distance formula. Second choice, normally I will use 2 equations, substitute into each other. The last choice only I will use the distance. Alright, so yeah, for whoever need to go for exam tomorrow or Tuesday, yeah, you need to rest early. This video will upload to YouTube later, so you don't need to worry. Alright, so let me move on to the next part. Alright, then, okay, so, and you realize it's actually lag a little bit. But anyways, yeah, we got the coordinate D already. And part D over here, they ask you to determine whether this coordinate lies on line AC or not. So the first thing is, you need to have the equation AD, then you can prove that it lies on AC or not. So I need to find the equation AC here. But since I have some of the coordinates, and I do not know what happens to my, yeah, you realize actually, they actually mix around. Okay, let me just zoom out a little bit. Okay, oh my god. Okay, right now I'm trying to find the equation of AC. Since I have the coordinate A and C, so I can find the gradient of AC first. So gradient of AC is basically 7 minus 2 over 2 minus negative 3 plus 3. So it's 5 over 5. My gradient is just 1. Then I can use any coordinate A or C to form my equation. So I'm going to use the y minus, I use the coordinate A lah. Y minus 2 equals to, m is 1, right? X minus negative 3, x plus 3. So y will equals to x plus 5. This one is my equation of AC. Right, since I already have my equation of AC, I want to know that coordinate actually passing through the AC or not. It's very easy. Because the coordinate, if you're passing through the AC, this AC, right, that means if I substitute 4, I should get 8. Or I substitute 8, I should get 4. Alright, this is how I test it. So I will going to sub the x equals to 4 into my equation AC, see whether my y value will get 8 or not. So therefore, y will equals to 4 plus 5. My y actually equals to 9. That mean the 4a does not pass through AC. Yeah, or does not lies on AC lah. Use to back the same words. Lies on AC. That means if I have the AC here, when I sub the 4, I get 9, right? That means if I 4 here, the coordinate will slightly above here. It doesn't pass through the AC because the AC, sorry, 4 I get 8, right? Should get 4, 9, right? So yeah, my 4, 8 should be here. So the 4, 8 doesn't passing through the AC. It's just slightly below it already. Because if 4, 9, if the coordinate 4, 9, yeah, 4, 9 is lies on AC. Yeah, you can always use the y equals to mx plus c. Yeah, and I skipped the, yeah, the part C is to find the area of rhombus ABCD. Is very easy. because just now we have the coordinate D, right? D is not mistaken, it's 1, 3, right? Alright, so in order to find the area ABCD, you just use the formula lah. Use the half and then modulus. I coordinate A, coordinate B, coordinate C, and coordinate D. Repeat the first coordinate. Alright, this is basically my coordinate A, B, C, D. I repeat A. Alright, then the next thing I will do is I will just like multiply them. So I will multiply like this. I will just multiply like this. Alright, so negative 18 minus 14 plus 6 minus 2. And then I will multiply like this. You should know how to use this formula, right? So it will be negative 9 plus 7 plus 12 plus 4. Alright, then you will just solve this one by using the calculator. Modulus, that means inside the value must be always positive lah. So I have negative 18 minus 14 plus 6 minus 2. So this one, the first one give me negative 28 minus, this one will be 7 minus 9 plus 12 plus 4 minus 14. So therefore I should get negative 28 minus 14. I get positive 42. So the area should be 21 units square. Alright, this is how to find the area. Just use back the area formula. Can we use the rectangle? Yeah, if you're trying to use a rectangle formula for this, you need to find a distance. Yeah, because normally I try to avoid use a distance formula. It will take some time. Yeah, you can, but then yeah, just in coordinate geometry, just use back the formula. Just use back their formula. It's more easier. So your coordinate is wrong. Did I put any coordinate wrong? Negative 3, negative 2, 2, 7, and they want A, B, C, D, isn't it? Yeah, D isn't 1, 3 just now? D will be 4, 1, right? Yeah, should be 1, 3, right? I don't think my coordinate is wrong. Alright. So, oh, yeah, it's negative 3, 2, right? It's not negative 3, negative 2. Yeah, so this coordinate is 2, not negative 2. Yeah. So, yeah, but the method is still the same lah. You just multiply it correctly and then you plus them together. Yeah, I'm not going to redo this question because it's very easy. Alright, so let's move on to this question. Integration. Alright, so you have a diagram 6 will show the straight line y equals to 2x, and then you have the curve y equals to fx, and then they intersect at the point A. You have the y value of A, which is 2. Alright, so you have a diagram look like this, and then the curve have the gradient of 4x. Alright, so find m first. Yeah, we can find m easily because we have the straight line y equals to 2x, right? So from this, I just sub in the coordinate, I can get my value. This one means y will equals to 2, x will equals to m, right? So 2 will equals to 2m. I just plug in this coordinate into this equation, alright? So therefore m should equals to 1. So therefore coordinate A, we should call it 1, 2. Alright, so just now we have the gradient function is 4x. That means dy dx will equals to 4x. So I can get the equation of curve by integrate dy dx. So I integrate dy dx, I will get y. Then I integrate 4x, I should get 4x squared over 2 plus c. Alright, I simplify this one. I should get y equals to 2x squared plus c. In order to get c, I will plug in my coordinate A into it. So if I plug in my coordinate A into it, which is 1, 2, right? 2 equals to 2, 1 squared plus c. c equals to 0. So therefore, my second part, my equation of curve should be y equals to 2x squared. Alright, or if you do not want to plug in the 1, 2, you can also plug in the 0, 0 right, if you want. You will still get the c equals to 0. Alright, so after I got the equation of the curve ready, then the question asked me to find the area of the region P. So in order to find the region P here, I'm very easy. Since this coordinate is 1, 2, I know this is 1, right? I will just integrate my curve from 0 to 1. So I just integrate my curve from 0 to 1. So in order to find the area, my curve is 2x squared, right? So if I integrate this one, I should get 2x cubed over 3, and then substitute this one to get the area of region P. So substitute 1 into here, I get 2 over 3. Substitute 0 minus 0, so the area is just 2 over 3. Yeah, you can do the unit square. Alright, so okay, then the next thing is, yeah, they ask us to find the volume in terms of pi, shaded region rotate 360 degrees on the x-axis. Alright, so right now, in order to find the volume over here, let me just erase about the area. I need some space here. So that means if the shaded area going to rotate 360 degrees on the x-axis, right? So what I will do over here is I will rotate the triangle at the same time, because if I rotate the curve 360 degrees, right, I'm actually getting this area rotate 360 degrees. So then what I will do over here is I'm going to use, when I rotate the cone 360 degrees, I will get a cone. If I rotate a triangle, 360 degrees, I will basically get a cone here. I'm not sure you can see the area of cone here or not. So yeah, because I have this coordinate, right, so I'm going to like draw out my cone to give you some idea how the cone will look like. So basically my cone is basically like this. This is the x-axis. So my cone actually will look like this. Alright, so my radius over here is basically a 2. Because my y value here is 2. And my height over here is basically 1. Because from 0 to the A here is 1, right? So the total length here should be 1. So in order to get the volume of cone, right, we know volume of cone is 1 over 3 pi r square h, right? So yeah, I can get my volume of cone easily, which is 4. So it's 4 over 3 pi. Alright, then in order to find the shaded region, right, I will need to minus if I integrate the curve. Because if I integrate the curve, it actually get another volume here. You get another volume will look like this. Oh my god, it couldn't see. Okay, so you will get another volume will look like this. So I will need to minus this area. So this one is basically very easy. In order to get another volume, right, it's just pi. Since I rotate on x-axis, right, here is dx, here is y squared from 0 to 1. So therefore, what is my y? My y is 2x. Sorry, my curve is not 2x. My curve is 2x squared, right? So when y squared, 2x squared is basically will give you 4x power 4, right? So therefore, I will integrate from 0 to 1, 4x power 4 dx. I will leave my pi outside as always. So I integrate this one, I will get 4x power 5 over 5, and then 0, 1. Alright, so this one is just sub in the 1. You will get 4 over 5 pi minus 0. That means the volume is 4 over 5 pi. So I want to find the volume of the shaded region. I will take the 4 over 3 pi, which is the volume of the cone, minus the 4 over 5 pi, which is when I integrate the curve 360 degrees on the x-axis. Yeah, you can integrate the straight line if you want. Integrate the straight line, you should get the same result with me. Then we do the 4 over 3 minus 4 over 5. Then I will get 8 over 15 pi. Alright, this is how we solve if we want to find the volume of the shaded region. Because this area of the shaded region here, it hangs on the middle. So I will need to rotate the whole thing. And then I minus the part. Of course, there's a slightly fast way. Where come the 4 over 3 pi? 4 over 3 pi is the volume of the cone. It's the volume of the cone above here. Do you see? This is 4 over 3 pi. And 4 over 5 pi is when I integrate the curve. Alright. Of course, there's a faster way of doing this part if you want. If you want, there's a faster way of doing this part. If you do not like to find the volume of cone and then integrate the curve, I guess basically you can join them together. But let me just try it out first. So because I'm trying to find this part, the shaded region, right? The straight line is on the top. So I should actually Okay, I find the equation between them first. I can actually use the 2x minus 2x squared. Because 2x is the straight line, right? 2x squared is the bottom one. But then you need to square this one. Don't use this method lah, because square this one going to take you forever. Yeah, so I guess this is the easiest way of doing this one lah. So basically, you just imagine you integrate the triangle. If you integrate the triangle here, it basically give you a cone. So you just use back the cone formula, 1/3 pi r square h. So after you got the cone ready, you just minus the area under the curve. You're going to integrate it, become another volume, then you minus it. Yeah, if you don't like about the cone thing because you think you not possible to visualize it as a cone, you can just integrate the straight line. I can show you. If I integrate the straight line dx, right, from 0 to 1, the volume will be 2x square, right, y square. So over here, I can actually integrate 0 to 1 for 4x squared dx. So if I integrate this one, I get 4x cubed over 3, 0, 1. There's a pi outside, definitely, sorry. So there's a pi here. So you should get 4/3 pi. So you realize the answer is still the same. The answer is still the same. You can integrate the straight line. If there's no way for you to see about the cone, you can always integrate the straight line. Can you zoom out a bit to be more visualized? Yeah, you can. Yeah, I can zoom out a bit to let you see what happening here. Alright, so yeah, this is how to find this question. Okay, so I'm going to move on to question 11. Alright, it's found that 20% of the school pupil in the state suffer from malnutrition. So therefore, I guess P is equals to 20 over 100, or I can call P equals to 0.2. So therefore, I know Q equals to 0.8. Alright, so normally when I read this, I know. So if the number of students suffering from malnutrition should be 500, calculate the total number of the preschool students. So therefore, I know NP will equals to 500 because this is the average student who actually suffer from the malnutrition. So I don't have my N, but I know my P is 0.2 equals to 500. Then I can get my number of total number here. By take the 500 divided by 0.2, I get my N is 2500. Alright, so how do we solve it with a straight line? I still can't seem to imagine. Okay, you're still in the question above here. Yeah, because you need to know how to find the volume. Because the volume, you have the formula, right? You know to find the volume, right? Integrate from A to B. Integrate from A to B, and then if on x-axis dx, this one need to be y squared. This one explain why, because the straight line is y equals to 2x, right? I substitute the 2x into the y here, y equals to 2x. I substitute 2x here, and then I square the 2x. Square the 2x, I actually getting 4x squared, right? There's a pi outside, sorry. There's a pi here. There's a pi here. This is a formula to getting the volume. Yeah, this is a formula of volume. Then you just substitute in and solve it. You should get the same result. Okay, if you can understand cone method, just use back the cone methods. Yeah. Okay, let me come back this one. I just fly around. A lot of students will be very dizzy. Alright, so part 2. If the 10 pupil from the stage, right now they change the N become the 10 already, are selected at random, find the probability exactly 4 of them are malnutrition. So that means they want to find x equals to 4. So I'm going to use the formula 10C4. P is 0.2 power of 4, Q is 0.8 power of 6. I just solve this one. This is just the formula, so this 4 mark is extremely easy to get. So 10C4 times 0.2 power of 4, and then multiply 0.8 power of 6. So you should get 0.08808. Yeah, this question is quite straightforward. So yeah, NP is the mean formula, yes. So NP is the mean. So mean actually is the estimate value. You can think like this, mean the average value, average like average got 500 student who actually malnutrition. So actually it's trying to say is the mean. Alright. Because this one, if the number of students suffering from the malnutrition is 500, this one actually they're trying to say like average among the total people in the stage, average people who have the malnutrition is 500. So the average is basically is a mean. Right, let me move on to the part B. Okay, a survey on the body mass is done on a group of the primary school pupil. So the mass, oops, I'm blocking. I try to make myself smaller because I find out myself is quite annoying here. Okay, let me move on. So the mass of the pupil have the normal distribution, mean is 20 and standard deviation is 8. So yeah, I write down information I have, mean is 20 and standard deviation will be 8. So if the pupil is chosen at random, calculate the probability that his mass is greater than 31. So normally I will always let the first sentence, which is x equals the mass of pupil. So right now they say that the mass of the pupil is greater than 31, right? So then I need to solve this one. So mass, we know we have to use a table, change to z. So it will be x minus mean over standard deviation. I just not enough space. Of course you shouldn't write 2 equal at the same time. 31 minus 20 divided by 8. So you should get z should be bigger than 1.375. And then you find the z value table. I don't have z value table here, but I hope you have z value table with you. Then you find 1.37, okay, 0.853. So I'm going to type in my calculator 853. 7 minus 5. 5, which is 8 minus 8. So you should get 0.0845. Alright, this is just use the z value table. Alright, so and then the next thing is, it's given that 78 pupil have the mass more than m. So right now, mass more than m, there's 78%, so it will be 0.78. So find the value of m. So you need to find the value of m. So of course, we will always change to z, then will be m minus mean over standard deviation will equals to 0.78. Then you draw out the bell-shaped diagram. And then because of the bigger size, you should know 0.78 is more than 0.5, right? So your value should be here. Your m minus 20 over 8 should be here. And at the same time, I also know this one should be a negative value because this one is 0.78. Okay, so therefore, because I know this is negative value, right, maybe I call this one as a negative k. Alright, so at the same time, I should know this area, because plus sum together equals to 1, so this one should be 0.22. This area should be 0.22. So if I call the whole thing is a negative k here, so can I say probability for z is less than negative k equals to 0.22? Because this line is negative k, right? So less than negative k is 0.22 is makes sense. And in this topic, we know less than negative, we can change to bigger than k, you will get 0.22. Alright, so then I want to find the k value by using the z value table again. But 0.22 this time I will find inside. And 0.22 will give me, I hope I can get a nice one. 0.772. So k should equals to negative 0.772. Is it 0.22? 0.772. Yeah. So therefore, I will solve this one. So therefore, m minus 20 over 8 equals to negative 0.772. Then I can get my m easily by doing negative 0.772 times 8 plus 20. So my m should equals to 13.824. Yeah. Alright, and then this is how we do this question. Okay, section C. Yeah, because I'm going to do a bit quicker because I'm very hungry. I haven't had my dinner. So y minus 1. Okay, because we know the whole area here should equals to 1, right? So since I know here is 0.78, so I easily need to know the other side is 0.22. This is why I will use the 1 to minus it. Because the other reason is why I use the 1 to minus and get 0.22 is if you open your Z value table, over here, you realize your maximum value is 0.5 only. There's no way you find 0.78. You no way you find a 0.78 from the Z value table. So in order to do that, we always will use 1 to minus the value bigger than 0.5. Because 0.78 you can't find, even though you want to find, you can't find. Of course, there's other Z value table you can find 0.78. But then SPM 1 definitely cannot find. So you have to convert lah. So this one explains why I use a 1 to minus it. Okay, so let me move on to question 12 here. Yeah, you can use a 0.5 plus 0.5 but still equals to 1, right? Why don't you just use the 1 to minus it? It seems easier. Okay, diagram 7 show the motion along the particle A and particle B. Both particles start moving simultaneously. So they start moving at the same point here. So the velocity of A is given. Velocity of A is 3t squared. 3t squared minus 15t. What's wrong? Why he don't let me write? Okay, and then velocity of B is given also. Is negative 2t squared plus 12t. Alright, where t is a time, is a second after passing through, after A and B passing through passing through O. Alright, this one is the very important information. Okay, because of what? Oops. Okay, because of this sentence trying to tell you is what? T is the time in second after particle A and B passing through O. That means the time start to count when particle A and B leave the O. That means during at the O here, S will equal to 0, time will equal to 0. Because at the origin here, S is equal to 0, time will still equal to 0. Because the question, the sentence I highlight there say that when the A and B leave O, they only start to count 1 second. At O that time equals 0. Why I say this value is very important? Because later when you integrate velocity, you will get plus C. If you don't get this sentence, there's no way you can find the value of C. Alright, so this sentence plays a very important role here. Okay, find the minimum velocity of particle A. Minimum velocity we know is dA dt equals 0. To find time first. This is not minimum velocity, but this formula for you to find the minimum velocity. Minimum velocity means differentiate velocity equals 0. Okay, get it? So this one will be 6t minus 15 equals 0. So t equals to 15 over 6. Or I simplify, I can call this one as 5 over 2. Alright, since I know this one, but this is not minimum velocity, right? I need to plug in my value back into the velocity to get my minimum velocity. So it's 3, 5 over 2 square minus 15, 5 over 2 to get my minimum velocity. When I get t equal to 5 over 2 means what? Mean when time equals to 5 over 2 will give me the minimum velocity. So 3 multiply 25 over 4 minus 15 multiply 5 over 2. So my minimum velocity should be 75 over 4. If you want to write, you can write meter per second. Or write in the decimal. If you don't write this one, it will be negative 18.75 meter per second. Alright. So let me move on to the next part. Find the range value of t when the p will move left. So the particle B move left means what? Because we know move right, that means velocity more than 0. Move left means velocity of B must be less than 0. So I will kind of solve this one. Negative 2t squared plus 12t will less than 0. And then I divide -2 for the whole equation if I want. Okay, never mind. I multiply negative first. So I multiply negative, this one will change to bigger than 0. Then I factorize out the 2t. T minus 6 bigger than 0. So I know t must bigger than 6 or t must less than 0. But t is less than 0, this one definitely will reject it because time cannot be less than 0. So the only range you have is time is bigger than 0. Okay? It is very confusing when a diagram of the particle like this given. Yeah, I guess it's a bit confusing. Does it matter if we give the decimal or fraction? So I guess you can live in decimal because the value is the same one. So yeah, you can live in fraction or decimal. I guess both is fine. Teacher, before SPM Add Math paper, are you going to do a live stream for MF? Yeah, before the SPM MF paper, I will do another live stream also. Alright, so C. They want to know the distance of the particle A and particle B when the acceleration of the particle A is same with the acceleration of the particle B. That means when both have the same value of A, then you will get, and then they want to find how far they are apart to each other because they are moving on the two different directions. So what I will do here is I want to find the acceleration of A and I want to find the acceleration of B also. So acceleration of A, that means I need to differentiate V. So I will get 6t minus 15. This one will give me negative 4t plus 12. Because they say they will have the same, right? So I will do something like acceleration of A will same with acceleration of B. The purpose of doing this because I want to find the time first. Because after I find the time, then only I can find like where is the particle, then I can find the distance. There are a lot of steps, right? That's why they give you a lot of mark. So 6t minus 15 equals to negative 4t plus 12. So I got 10t equals to 27, t equals to 2.7. Okay, t equals to 2.7 play a very important role here because I'm going to use the time equal to 2.7 to find my particle A. Where is my particle A when time equals to 2.7? And where is my particle B when my time equals to 2.7? But the problem is I don't have S. S is for me to find the displacement of A and B. So this is the reason why we need to find S here. So in order to find S, I need to integrate V. So I need to integrate 3t squared minus 15t. So I will get 3t cubed over 3 minus 15t squared over 2 plus c. Alright, so yeah, this is my SA. And in order to find c, I will sub s equal to 0, t equal to 0. I got 0, 0 plus c. So c equals to 0, right? So therefore, I got my S equation. This is my S equation. 3 and 3 I can simplify lah, so no more 3, just the t cube. Okay, so you just got a t cube. Okay, this is my SA. So what I was doing here is, I want to know when I got 2.7, right? So I sub the 2.7 into the t here. I want to know where is the displacement of particle A when time equals to 2.7. So yeah, there's very weird number, but I guess you should get the value. Minus 15 times 2.7 square over 2. Yeah, you will get a very weird value, negative 34.992. Okay, so meter. Alright, then I will do the same thing for B. Okay, why you need to integrate? Because integration is the only way we find the displacement. So in order to find the displacement with S, you always need to integrate V. Okay, so yeah, I see my some student lost already. You have displacement, velocity, and acceleration. So in order to get the velocity, you need to differentiate S. So ds dt actually will give you the V. So if you have V, you want to get the A, you need to differentiate V. So dv dt in order to get the A, this one in order to get a V. But if you have the A, you want to get V, you need to integrate A. If you have the V, you want to get S, you want to integrate V. So right now I have the V, I want to get S. So this one explain why I integrate V. Yeah, I'm a gamer as well. You're right. I'm a Dota 2 player. But anyways, let me off the Steam. Yeah, my friend is just like keep disturbing me. Okay, anyways, let me come back here. Okay, so therefore, right now I will need to integrate the velocity of B. So I want to get the displacement of B. So I will integrate the B is negative 2t squared plus 12t. So therefore, if I integrate this one, I should get negative 2t cubed. I guess, I don't know why they don't let me write. Oh my god. Negative 2t cubed over 3 plus 12t squared over 2 will get 6t squared. And I know in this case the c is 0, so I will not waste time on finding c, because when s equals to 0, t equals to 0, c will equal to 0. Alright, so right now I want to know what happened when I sub the 2.7 into it. So I get the 2.7 cubed over 3 plus 6 2.7 squared. Alright, so I will get the, I want to know their position. 2.7 cubed, okay, over 3 plus 6 multiply 2.7 square. Alright, so I get the distance is 30.618. Okay, so what is the meaning over here? If I got two different values here, it means what? It means the particle A will be, let's say this is origin, the particle A will be at here, negative 34.992 when time equals to 2.7, and particle B will be over here when time equals to 2.7. They were at 30.618. Alright, so this question trying to find the distance between A and B at this moment. So how to find the distance? Basically, you just plus both of them together. So I will just use the 30.618 plus 34.992. So I will get the distance is 65.61 meter. Okay, so this is how I get the distance. Alright, it's not too complicated, but then you need to have the basic, like how to find the displacement S. If you do not know how to find the displacement S, it will be quite struggling for you. Okay, I'm not going to do the linear law. Wow, there's two more questions, and let me know what is the time now. Yeah, so I'm going to do the last question here because I'm going to stop at 10:30. So I let you guys choose. You want solution of triangle? I'm not going to do linear programming or index number. Choose one question. You want the solution of triangle or you want the index number? For me, both of these also is quite easy. Okay. Then we do the solution of triangle then. Right, so in this question, they ask us to find the angle of PQR. PQ and R, they ask about this angle. So in order to find this angle, first thing is I only have two rules over here, which is sine rule and cosine rule. But then over here, I see the one combination. When I say one combination means what? I see the angle at opposite length. Angle at opposite length tell me that I need to use the sine rule. If you have the angle and the opposite length, always choose the sine rule. Alright, so sine rule means what? I'm going to do the sine Q over the opposite length, 15.1, and then equals to sine 40 over the opposite length, 11.7. Then I can get the angle Q here easily. Make sure your calculator change back to degree. In this case, sine 40 over 11.7 multiply 15.1. And then I will shift sign my answer. I get 56.06 degree. Alright, this is my, of course you write the proper lah, so equals to 56.06 degree. Okay, so since I got the angle, I'm going to write down in my diagram 56.06. Alright, so from here, I can find this angle, 180 minus both, right? 180 minus my answer, minus 40. So I know this angle is 83.94. Maybe I need to use it, maybe I'm not. But normally I will write out all the angle here. The second thing, they ask us to find the angle PSR. PSR, they ask you to find this angle. Alright. In order to find this angle, we know basically this triangle, you have three sides with no angle. When you have three sides with no angle, using the cosine rule. But I recommend you to remember this cosine rule. Cos A equals to B squared plus C squared minus A squared over 2BC. Okay, this formula will use this cosine rule when we have three sides with no angle, and then we want to find one of the angle in the triangle. Then we use this formula. And what is B and C? Basically, I will do something like cos PSR, angle PSR. B and C will be two sides. A will be opposite length. Alright, just remember 8.5 square plus 10.3 square minus 15.1 square over 2, 8.5 and 10.3. Alright, then you just move the cos to the other side. You can get angle PSR easily. 8.5 square plus 10.3 square minus 15.1 square divided by 2, put a bracket lah, 2 times 8.5 times 10.3. Okay, after you got the answer, I will press shift cos. My answer is 106.48. So this angle I found is 106.48 degree. Alright, this is how I do this. Make sure you remember. Yeah, of course over here, you can always use the traditional formula. A squared equals to B squared plus C squared minus 2BC cos A. Yeah, you can always use this one. But this one, you make sure you want to move around correctly lah. So what I'm doing on this formula is same formula. I just make the cos A as a subject. Yeah, I have a little bit through today. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. But let me move on. And then they ask you to find the quadrilateral. They want to find the whole thing. Oops, 0.6, right? This one should be 0.6. Okay, they want to find the whole quadrilateral. Basically, I just sum the triangle. So they want to find some PQRS. So I will plus 2 triangle. Triangle formula is half AB sine C, right? You should know about this area triangle formula. So I will choose 2 sides and 1 angle in between. 2 sides and 1 angle in between. So I will use this angle. So will be half. So will be half 11.7 and 15.1, and then sine 83.94 plus another 2 sides and 1 angle in between. 2 sides and 1 angle in between. 1 over 2, 8.5, 10.3, and sine 106.48. Then type in the calculator. You should get the correct answer lah. I'm not going to type for you lah. This one is just very easy. Alright, so okay, lastly, they ask you to sketch a triangle PQR, new triangle PQR. It's given a different shape of the right now PQR such that PR must same with the PR, QR must same with the QR. Okay, normally these two lines, let me just, PR will same with the, where is the PR? This length must remain the same, and then the other length must remain the same will be QR. This length must remain the same. Okay, these two lengths must remain the same. And then the angle QPR must be the same. Angle QPR. Alright, that's mean over here, they want this angle remain the same. So that's mean if this angle must remain the same, right? That's mean these two lines I cannot touch it at all. Because if these two lines, the line PR and line PQ, I move around, the angle 40 will no longer the same. So what I will do is, the only line I can touch is the QR. Because when I move the QR, I will not affect the angle 40, right? When I move the QR, I want to remain the same, so I will make an isosceles triangle. I want to make sure this angle, this line will same with this line. So therefore, if you are good, you should be able to see my triangle, and it just doesn't let me change my pen. Alright, so this will be my new triangle. Do you see that? If you can't see that, I'm going to duplicate here. This one should be my new triangle. The R, my P, and my Q going to move here, right? So my Q. So I actually drawing this triangle. Alright, so and then I'm going to duplicate some angle here. Because this is isosceles triangle already, right? So these two angles must be the same, 56.06. Then I can get this angle easily. I use 180 minus 56.06. This angle over here should be 123.94. Then therefore this angle is 123.94. If you ask about this length, it will be 11.7 because remain the same one. And this length will remain the same also, right? 15.1. Alright, so this is what I have. And the last part, they ask you to, after I sketch already, they ask about size PQR. They asked about this angle I just found, nice, which is 123.94. Alright, this is how we draw the new triangle. So normally they will give you three conditions. The most important one I would say will be angle. Because if in order to keep the angle 40, right, the two line actually between the angle 41, these two lines you cannot move one. Because you move a little bit, you get 41 already. So if these two lines cannot move, right, then I will move the opposite line. But then they give you the condition, the opposite line like QR, you must remain the same, right? So I will always do the isosceles triangle. I will always draw the segitiga sama kaki. Alright. Anyways, that's all for the class today. So yeah, a lot of students ask me about the half angle for tangent. Okay, let me work out all the half angle for you lah. So yeah, maybe you might need to use it. Yesterday I say half angle, you're going to use the cos x, right? Cos square x minus sin square x. You have three formula, right? Then the other one will be 1 minus 2 sin square x and 2 cos square x minus 1. Alright, so I want to do half angle for sine, so I choose this one. In order to do the half angle, right, I will sub the x equals to theta over 2 lah into the equation. So cos 2 theta over 2 equals to 1 minus 2 sine square theta over 2. Alright, so 2 and 2 I simplified. This is cos theta equals to 1 minus 2. Okay, sine square theta over 2, same idea with sine theta over 2 square. Alright, they are the same thing. Alright, so then the next thing is I just want to make this one, I just want to make the theta over 2, sine theta over 2 as a subject. So I'm going to move around. So sine theta over 2. So I moved my cos to this side, minus cos theta. Just now you have a 2 here, right? I move to the other side, divide 2. You have a square here, right? I move become square root. Okay, remember, write down this formula. You're going to use this formula if you have the sine half theta. Then we'll do the same thing for cos. Cos 2x equals to 2 cos square theta x minus 1, right? So I will sub my x equals to theta over 2 over here. So cos 2 theta over 2 equals to 2 cos square theta over 2 minus 1. Alright, this one is cos x, right? So I'm going to make this one as a subject. So this one is cos theta, minus 1 move here, plus 1, 2 move here, divide 2, square move here, we can square root. So therefore, cos theta over 2, you should get this one. Write down these two. So cos half angle, you will get cos angle plus 1 over 2. Alright, or you want to write it, look very alike to this one, I will rearrange a little bit. Theta over 2. I will just write 1 plus cos theta over 2. Then you might see quite similar one. This is 1 minus cos theta, this is 1 plus cos theta. Alright, then go to the last one. Because a lot of students ask me about tangent theta over 2. So will be sine theta over 2 over cos theta over 2. Isn't it? then I will just sub the formula 1 minus cos theta over 2 over 1 plus cos theta over 2. Alright, then I will need to solve this one over here because they are square root, right? So I can say the whole thing square root. And then this one we're going to flip over. So when flip over 2 and 2, I can simplify. So I get 1 minus cos theta over 1 plus cos theta. So this is the formula for tangent half angle. Okay, so over here you should have tangent half angle, cos half angle, and sine half angle. Alright, so these three formula you just write down, and then yeah, when you have it, you just apply the formula lah. I don't think you need to show how you get the formula. You just apply the formula and then you should get the correct mark over here. Yeah, I hope this live stream, about 2-hour live stream, do help you understand better about this topic. Yeah, the next live stream, your MA paper is on Friday, isn't it? No, I guess I will live stream one more paper like before the day. If on Friday, then yeah, then I will live stream on Thursday night. And right now I'm still thinking I want to live stream about your modern math or not, because some students actually ask about modern math, but I'm quite busy as well. So yeah, anyways, yeah, can we use the 570EX calculator? Yeah, I guess you should be able to bring this new calculator to an exam, but I'm not 100% sure, so you just double confirm with your teacher. Right, so it's on next Tuesday. Okay, then it's on Tuesday, then I might live stream again on next Saturday and Sunday. So maybe we will do Seremban paper, because a lot of students ask about Seremban paper. Yeah, your modern math is on Thursday, right? Maybe I will do one live stream about modern math on Wednesday. Yeah, I will updates on my Facebook and my YouTube. You just stay tuned on my YouTube, you should be able to see it. Yeah, so anyways, that's all for today. Do more practice and all the best for your SPM exam on the coming week. Yeah, so yeah, please do more practice. Yeah, that's all. Good night. Bye bye.